So Thich Nhat Hanh says, there is no conflict at all between the Buddha and the Christ in me. They are real brothers. They are real sisters within me. A Christian is a continuation of Jesus Christ. He is Jesus Christ and she is Jesus Christ. That is how I see things. That is how I see people. The cosmic Christ is present within all of us. He goes on to say, when we practice living in faith, every meal is the Last Supper. In fact, we could call it the First Supper because everything will be fresh and new. When I wrote my second book, I really wanted to use one of Glenda Green's poems in my book, from her book, The Keys of Yeshua. And I needed to get permission or the publisher wouldn't allow it to be in the book. So I thought, how am I going to contact Glenda Green? Well, I decided to Google, came up with a phone number there. And I thought, oh gosh, okay, it's probably going to be her secretary or, somebody, and I'll probably never get to connect with her. I called the number and I asked for her and she said, this is Glenda Green. And I couldn't believe that it was her. So first I had to, of course, tell her how much her poetry, her meditations, the words in her books have really spoken to me and touched my heart, and my dad's as well. Then I asked her for permission to use her poem. And she said, honey, I'll do you one better. She says, I'm going to do a little write-up and personally and put it next to the poem in your book. And I'm going to send you the corresponding painting that I did. So I thought, what a gift. What a blessing, right? She says, let's exchange emails and I'll get back to you, in a week or so or less with this information. Well, a week went by, 2 weeks went by, 2.5 weeks went by. Meanwhile, the publisher's like, we're all ready with this. So I decided to email her, no response. I decided to call her on the phone. She answered the phone and she was a completely different person. She had been crying. And when I told her who I was, she said, oh, I'm really sorry. I haven't gotten back to you. She said, my husband was just suddenly put in hospice. And I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get you this information that you need. So of course I told her that I would hold her and her husband in prayer, that I wished her the best with everything. And I thanked her profusely. And I knew that having her poem in my book wasn't the gift, but being able to connect with her to receive, especially that first phone call, the transmission that we had. And then in the second phone call, feeling like just holding her in prayer maybe was a little something that I could do to be helpful to her. The river on the other side of pain. I've really been learning to see that because I've been going through a big awakening and transformation, especially in the last year, and really learning, Padre, to see the blessings in the pain of growth. And sometimes it's hard for us to see that, even if we're not feeling like a victim. Sometimes things come on as such a shock. It comes on so suddenly that it's shocking for a while. Then what we're going through is very hard to deal with, but we have to just dive deep and keep working towards, which I had to do, keep working towards seeing the blessings in the growth and the blessings in the pain and lifting it up in the highs and lows. How perfect. I'm going to sing either way it goes. And that's like a surrender and acceptance. So, and then the sun comes out at the end, right?
Amen.
And, yeah.